Imagine this. You stop posting. You stop texting first. You stop explaining yourself. You stop showing up everywhere. For 30 days, you disappear. No dramatic goodbye, no announcement. No, I need a break, just silence. And then you watch what happens. Because here's the truth nobody tells you. The moment you remove your presence, you reveal your value. Most people think respect comes from being available, from replying fast, from always showing up, from proving they care. But psychology says something different. Humans don't value what's always available. They value what feels scarce. When something is constantly there, the brain adapts. It normalizes it. It reduces its emotional weight. It's called hedonic adaptation. Your attention becomes background noise. You reply instantly? Expected. You always agree? Expected. You're always there. Expected. And expected things don't create respect. They create comfort. And comfort without boundaries creates invisibility. Now imagine this shift. Day 1. Nothing happens. People assume you're busy. Day 3. Someone checks your profile. Day 5. Someone notices you didn't respond. Day 7. Curiosity begins. Because absence creates contrast, and contrast creates awareness. When you disappear, you interrupt the pattern people have built around you. And humans hate broken patterns. Your silence becomes louder than your presence ever was. But here's the deeper layer. When you disappear, 2 things happen at the same time. 1. Others start recalculating your value. 2. You start rebuilding your identity. Let's talk about the first one. When you're always available, people subconsciously rank you as low risk of loss. And the human brain does not fight to keep what feels guaranteed. But when access becomes uncertain, the brain activates loss aversion. Loss hurts more than gain feels good. So when you disappear, the brain doesn't think, oh, whatever. It thinks, wait, what changed? Curiosity turns into attention. Attention turns into importance. And importance is the foundation of respect. Now the second transformation, the one that matters more. When you disappear, you're forced to face yourself. No validation hits. No quick dopamine from notifications. No constant distraction. At first, it feels uncomfortable. Because most people don't fear being alone. They fear being alone with their thoughts. But this is where power begins. When you stop chasing attention, you start building substance. You work out without posting it. You learn without announcing it. You improve without broadcasting it. And something shifts internally. You stop performing. You start becoming. This is dangerous, because a person who doesn't need validation moves differently. They speak slower. They react less. They choose carefully. And when they return, they don't look the same. Energy is different. Calmer, sharper, more controlled. And people feel that shift instantly. You don't even have to say anything. Presence isn't about volume. It's about certainty. When you disappear for 30 days, you break emotional dependency patterns. You learn who reaches out. You learn who notices. You learn who is only responding to convenience. And that clarity is priceless. Because respect starts with self-respect. If you can't walk away, you are not choosing. You are clinging. And clinging kills respect. Disappearing is not about punishing others. It's about proving to yourself that you're not addicted to being seen. It's about emotional independence. Think about the most respected people in any room. They don't overshare. They don't over-explain. They don't overreact. There's mystery. And mystery triggers psychological depth perception. When the brain can't fully predict you, it assigns higher status. Predictable equals safe. Unpredictable equals powerful. Now imagine you come back after 30 days. You don't announce it. You just show up. Stronger posture, cleaner boundaries, less talk, more intention. People will ask, "Where were you?" But what they're really asking is, "Why do you feel different?" Because absence creates emotional recalibration. During those 30 days, you quietly upgraded. And upgrades don't beg for attention. They command it. Here's what will really happen. Some people won't care. And that's a gift. It shows you who was never invested. Some people will test you. They'll try to pull you back into old dynamics, old jokes, old disrespect, old patterns. But now you respond differently. Calm, short, unbothered. And that's when the real shift happens. Respect is not forced. It's felt. When people sense that you don't need them to validate you, they instinctively adjust their behavior. Because power dynamics change the moment need disappears. Neediness repels. Independence attracts. And the most powerful part? You stop fearing being forgotten. Because you realize something critical. If disappearing erases you, you were never solid to begin with. True presence isn't built through constant exposure. It's built through internal strength. When you disappear for 30 days, you practice detachment. Detachment from approval. Detachment from noise. Detachment from instant reactions. And detachment creates clarity. You start asking better questions. Who am I without attention? What am I building? Where am I wasting energy? Who deserves access? Most people are afraid to disappear because they're scared no one will notice. But that fear reveals dependency. And dependency weakens authority. If you can step back and your life still moves forward, you become powerful. Because now your presence is a choice, not a requirement. Imagine living like this. You can engage, but you don't have to. You can respond, but you don't rush. You can connect, but you don't cling. That is psychological freedom. And freedom radiates confidence. So what happens when you disappear for 30 days? You lose fake connections. You expose shallow dynamics. You rebuild internal discipline. You reset your value in people's minds. You develop emotional control. You become less reactive. You gain clarity. But most importantly, you prove to yourself that you are not replaceable noise. You are controlled presence. And controlled presence is rare. In a world addicted to attention, the person who can step away holds the real power. Disappear. Not to play games, not to manipulate, but to grow. Return different. Return sharper. Return self-contained. And watch what happens. Because when you stop chasing visibility, visibility starts chasing you. When you stop demanding respect, your silence demands it for you. 30 days. No noise. No performance. Just growth. And when you step back into the light, you won't need to say a word. They'll feel it.